Good morning, Sam Martin here from Refuse Revival. Today what we're doing is we're catching up with Master Restorer Steve Jackson. We're going to take the old van down to the workshop, strip it off, clean it up, get ready to go back to the rust preparation stage where we're going to deal with our corrosion and look at how we're going to set up our frame. I hope you really enjoy this video. It's good to have you watching. Clean van.
All cleaned up.
Do you reckon we need to do anything with it? Should we just take it down to the old motor registry and just see if they give us a little tick of approval?
I don't think they will, Sambo. I think you're up for a bit of work.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
Well, lucky I got you here, eh?
Yeah.
Pretty stoked to have Steve here, folks. And today what our plan is we're going to take all the panelling off, but before we do that, we're going to give it a quick wash and scrub it back. Is there anything else we should be thinking about, you reckon?
That's a good start. We'll think about corrosion as we go. We'll see what's corroded, what's not, but we can have a chat about that when we find some hidden secrets.
What are we working on here, Steve?
Alright. Going to sharpen up this old cold chisel so we can go along the inside and knock off the inside of the rivet, which makes getting the outside of the rivet a lot easier.
We're in the van now and Steve's just working through getting those rivets off the inside, so it makes the panelling easier to come off on the outside. Noisy job. Some ear protection.
What?
Nothing.
Can't hear a thing, mate.
No, yeah, you're good.
I will get some ear. You can see it makes pretty light work of that. A couple of taps, knocks the back off, and then there's nothing holding it, so when you do the top it'll all just spin and come out. Often that'll clear itself. Once we've done this and got everything off, we've got to go along and punch out all those little centres. But that makes light work of getting these off.
It's always good to wear the hearing protection, isn't it?
You've got to wear it all the time, mate, because you'll go deaf as a post if you don't.
Totally.
What?
So Steve, when we're going here with the knockdown, we're going from the top down. Is that the go?
Go from the top down, front to the back, because that's the way they laid the sheets, like in reverse. They go from the back to the front and to the top. So the top, the roof here is the last thing to go on, so it's the first thing to come off. So FI, FO, as they say in the kitchen.
FIFO. Lock in.
That's fly in, fly out.
21 by 1200. There you go, folks. It'll be on eBay next week.
Sold.
Yeah, it's probably, you know, when I remember when I bought the van, what everyone else was bidding for was the roller door.
The roller door.
And you know, I love it, but I really want to be able to access in and out of here smoothly and easily, and I just think it's taking up too much headroom.
If you're an Oompa Loompa, you'd fit right under there.
An Oompa Loompa. I'm definitely not an Oompa Loompa.
No, mate, you're a big, tall, strong country lad.
I'm a Loompa Oompa.
So even my little stubby statue, I can't get in and out of there and play my guitar.
No. So I think that, well, let's take it off and then let's make the decision on whether we're actually going to be able to build the stage out of the back, because we might actually get to a point where we go, it's going to be too hard anyway.
I've already booked the first band, Cold Chisel.
Got that, Jimmy? You're on the way. Got a little bit of a competition going on here. You know, picking the size of a nut when you come to, you know, undoing things is always, you know, it's about efficiency really. If you can get it right the first time, it's going to happen real quick. Steve's money's on 15. I'm on 13. I'll bet you it's going to be a 12. Let's see how we go. 15 for Steve.
Oh, yeah, I can see, looking at that.
13 for Sam.
Well, it fits like a glove. A very loose glove.
A loose glove. Loose gloves are
they're
a bit useless when you come to doing this sort of stuff, folks. I'm pretty confident it's the 12, even though I thought the 13, because oh, look at that! It's the 13, Steve-o.
Oh, well, mate.
Oh, well, that
it's
means...
like a proper glove. Latex one, no, welder's glove.
Absolutely. You should never second guess yourself. You should just get in and do it, folks. Hey! Oh, I forgot there's a spring in here, eh?
You need a hand?
Yeah. Hey! Rolling. Roll back up. I reckon. As best we can. There we go. Keep it neat. That'll be a project. Roll to a chook shed.
That feels nice, Steve, I reckon. I'm pretty happy with that. It's better.
You know what you could do, Sambo?
Yeah.
Be a bit wacky,
Yeah.
but you could hinge from up there.
Yeah.
You just got to work out a way to flash it so that water doesn't ingress, but if you could hinge it from that point, the whole centre section lifts. Yeah, from that point, not this
Yeah,
point.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Reinforce that to take the weight
Yeah.
and maybe a bit more loading down there, and so the whole
Thing opens up.
thing opens up.
As-
This bit, get rid of that out of your head.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that is food for thought. I guess my concept was initially that she floats down that way and becomes the back deck.
Half. You can go half.
Yeah, it could.
There's no reason why you can't
Yeah.
have two things.
Yeah.
A bit of an awning, or pull the stage out.
Yeah, I've seen that before too.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of space under there. We usually sit tanks. Look at that. Flat as a tack, mate. Nothing in the way.
Yeah.
On rollers. Hey?
Well, I think this is going a little bit beyond my engineering skills, ladies and gents. Lucky I got a pro in the building. I like that concept. I do. I think that.
Have a look under there. Tell me that a stage shouldn't slide.
No, that is true.
Look
yeah.
at it. What's that?
Yeah.
Structural.
Integrity. Load is
Low.
weight is low. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's
And you can come out
as
as
the.
far as you bloody like. You're
Yeah.
not limited.
Well, nothing like just lying down on the job, is there? Steve?
On a hot summer's day, mate, it's beautiful under a nice cold van. But in the middle of winter, it's not so much fun.
Especially in Candlelight. How's under the van looking, do you reckon, in your opinion?
Well, it's not too bad, Sambo. There's been a few strange cutouts, which I'd probably patch up. But you're fortunate here that there's a lot of grease and oil and grime build up on the rear frame here. And as bad as that looks, stuff under grease doesn't rust. So it's kind of in some bizarre way protected your frame from corrosion in the rear end where it usually rusts through here. You know, these back corners and all of this stuff usually rusts out.
Just because
that's
it's
where the
getting
water
mud.
sits,
Yeah, right.
And the mud holds chlorides and stuff on and makes a little poultice, and away it goes, it all rusts. But you're kind of lucky in some way that it's so greasy and grimy because it's protected your chassis and doesn't look too bad.
All right. So yeah, a little bit of Sikaflex has been used in this front repair that Steve and I have noticed it's happened at some point. They've glued it on both sides as well as the top. They've used steel rivets. It's a real hassle to get off, which is a bit unfortunate. But I've just sharpened up an old putty knife and I'm going to slide that in and slip it down to try and remove that Sikaflex. How are we going there, Steve?
Good, mate.
Yeah.
It's coming up. We're just about ready for the walls. Let's get these little ones off the back there.
There's not many rivets on the bottom down here, but you can see that I've got a clamp here, which is obviously used to hold the old gas line in place. So what I'm going to do now is remove it. I just thought I'd show you this trick. I use a impact driver with a straight bit on it, and what we try and do is, rather than just lots of pressure, holding the impact driver in place, go forward a little and then back. And I grab my vice grips, grab hold of that little nut at the back. Sometimes you could just use your spanner and this will just fall straight out. Easy. You can spend a long time doing that sort of stuff, folks, so any ways that make it a bit quicker for you, have a go in restoration and especially reviving businesses. I'm at the point of taking this panel off now. I've drilled out all of the rivets, and that's using a 3/16 size drill bit. That's what we're doing for all of the rivets all around the van.
I can make it stiff. Alright? Yeah, side to side. Yeah,
takes an expert, doesn't it, Steve?
Expert, mate, and a boot for the
There we go. Well, this panel's in fantastic condition. I'll just give it a quick clean up with the putty knife probably, and it'll go straight back on. Lovely. Steve and I are getting into the final touches here. Just taking the last of the windows out and also looking at the rivets. You can see that the use of a plier to remove the tops is a really handy tool. And what Steve does is, as he goes in, he centres the drill bit on the rivet, gives it a little bit of pressure, and then lets the drill do the work. And they come out really quick. I mean, we're looking at about 1,500, do you reckon? 1,500 rivets at least in this.
Which
and,
means I've removed about 15,000 in my day.
He's a bit of an
Maybe
expert.
more, maybe 20,000.
20,000.
20,000 rivets.
20,000 rivets.
I wish I had $1 for every rivet that I've pulled out.
Well, mate, when we get this one done up and we go and do the odd gig out at the Canterbury markets, I reckon it'll come back.
That 20G will
That
be
20G.
in the hat
No
straight
worries.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get enough subscribers.
Meantime, keep drilling rivets.
And check out his channel, Vintage Restorations Australia. Last few panels to go now, ladies and gents, and what I'm going to do is I've got to get under here and unpick it, so I just thought I'd show you. They fold the aluminium up underneath, and I'm guessing that that's to help prevent any water and stuff coming up from road running into the panel. What do you reckon, Steve? Is that what's going on?
Sounds plausible, Sambo.
All right. Well, I'll get under and get covered up with the rubbish while Steve just shakes the booty up the top here. Sounds good, eh? Come on down. Oh, sorry, ladies and gents, you don't actually get a good view of that. I'll just fix that up. Oh, got your best angle, got your crutch, Steve. These are the knees.
It's a family show.
These are the knees, yes, that's it. All right, so you can see here where the fold comes under. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unpick that with a tool. There's one. And we just got to pull that along over there. Using a pinch bar would probably be better than this, but seeing this was at my feet, that'd be great.
Another reason why it's good to have two people.
Oh, two people on this job is just so much better. Especially when you got one that's an expert in this stuff. So I'm just pinching it off. My understanding is that the aluminium will go back and look pretty good. Try and be as careful as possible because this is the side where I'm really aiming to keep all these panels. So just want to relieve it so it's not fully tight. I get in and do this last little bit under the archway here, so where that corner folds on. Ah, it's all good actually. Yeah, just chisel's actually pretty good for getting in there, that one. And so there's a lot of dust, you might want to wear a mask. This has probably been the most annoying part of the whole process. Apart from the steel rivets, they were pretty annoying too. Oh, yeah. Feel like we should be pretty close there now. Maybe I'll just give it a little bit of a pull as we go. There we go. Perfect. Well done. Mark it up. Well, that's been pretty successful, hasn't it?
It's been good, mate.
I mean, most people would probably call that a day, wouldn't they?
They call it a day, but not us.
No, we're going to keep going. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to give it a quick sweep off, and I won't do too much of a clean-up because I've got a bit more to go yet. We're going to take the floor out, and then we'll bring it back to the frame, and we're going to do a walk around with Steve before he goes, just to have a chat about how we're going to piece the frame back together to suit the design that I'm talking about. Floor time!